The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
I'm so miserable now! I'm so miserable now! I'm so miserable now! I'm so miserable now! I'm so miserable now!
Going to be going into the doctor soon and trying to get Guatemalan steroids. You know, like the strongest, straight from Guatemala steroids, craziest, high-powered, testosterone-filled, totally jacked to the gills, fucking World War Hulk style steroids. And I'm going to be jabbing my ass cheeks with those things on the daily. What a lovely, lovely way to start the day. What a lovely way to start the week. I hope you're out there doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed what they are calling the worst Super Bowl of all time. They're calling it the most embarrassing trailer of all time. But I hope you're doing good. I hope you are making it happen and surviving in this crazy fucking world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into your motherfucking Monday. Welcome on in. Oh, man. Lots to get into today. We must discuss the Mando and Grogu trailer. You know, I said... going into it, and I'm actually kind of glad we didn't really stream on Friday, because if we had actually like streamed, I probably would have done like some prediction video or something. You know, would have yapped a lot about the potential for the Mando and Grogu trailer, and you know, I was kind of thinking to myself like, okay, maybe this thing will. Dude, Star Wars, you got to stop. You got to stop, man. I had this thought, and Chad, I wonder if any of you guys had the thought as well. Before Sunday, I caught myself a couple of times, maybe a little bit on Friday, maybe a little bit on Saturday, being like, yo, but what if? But what if? What if it's great? What if it's action-packed? What if I'm sitting there like, holy shit! Oh my god, fucking Mando and Grogu, who would have thought? You know, I had that thought. I don't know if you guys had that thought too. And instead, I felt like I was turning into the Joker, which we're going to talk more about. But, you know, I'm just like, you know, I feel insane. I feel like I've actually tipped into actual insanity. So we're going to let it all hang out today. We're going to go crazy. I'm going to talk biblical amounts of shit. I'm going to get toxic in ways that, you know, kind of defy what we thought was possible with science and physics and rockets and spaceships and stuff. It's going to be a hell of a thing. It's going to be a hell of a thing. So I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Now, let's talk about Friday a little bit before we get into the abysmal state of the world and all of our favorite franchises. Let's talk about Friday a little bit. I fucked it all up, guys, okay? I fucked it all up. Now, I'd love to blame Justin, but it's not Justin's fault. But here's what we're going to do. Long and short of it, TLDR. We fucked up the first EFAP deep dive stream on Iron Man. We're going to do it again on Friday, and I have a better way to do it. It's going to be a lot smoother. It will happen regardless of what chat says, as long as Disney doesn't take the fucking stream down. I think we're going to be okay. So we're going to try that again. We're going to try it again on Friday. Seriously, I got a better strategy. I looked at, I sort of looked over what we had done. I looked over what other people do with these similar kind of streams. I think I figured out, probably going to have to go no audio. I'm also going to watch the movie and come up with things already that I want to talk to you about instead of like exploring, you know, just stream of consciousness kind of an idea. So we're going to try it again. It's okay. It's the first one. Just relax. It's going to be okay. Okay. Sometimes it's awkward on your first time. Okay. And then you kind of learn ball, as they say. So we'll fix it. We'll get it sorted out. And we'll do that on Friday. So if you're a member, look forward to that on Friday. Probably start at a regular time, 11 or noon, somewhere around then. But Friday, we will be deep diving on Iron Man 1. We got to start on this awesome video series, man. We're 9 days into February. That is insane to me. The first month of the year, I cannot believe time is going at supersonic speed. I don't know if anybody else is having this experience, but it's pretty crazy. So we got to get going on that sort of stuff. I'm busy Friday. Oh, sorry, Dave. I guess we could reschedule for Dave. Okay, let's. I tell you what. Let's catch up on some of these super chats, member chats, and all that. I saw a bunch of love coming into the stream. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Oh, I should also say too, this should be the last day in the kitchen. Okay, I know some of you guys love the kitchen setup and all that sort of stuff. Fuck that, it's terrible. We're going back to the office. This is another cold day today, but I'm taking off streaming tomorrow. But the whole idea is I'm gonna move back into the office, try to get it set up as nicely as possible, so that we can get back to actually just being in the office. So no more cooking here in the kitchen. But yeah, so no stream tomorrow, but I'll be moving stuff back in. And then we should be rocking and rolling, man. You know, the cold to me, this whole storm thing, it's been stupid. I'm looking forward to kind of getting into it. A lot of content to be made, a lot of nerd venging to be had. All right, let's catch up with everybody is saying, and then we'll get into these topics, starting with Mando and Grogu. Oh my God, holy shit! All right, Zach says I gotta watch this after work, bro. Star Wars is truly dead. They made a beer commercial. What a joke. Much love, everyone. Nerd Vengers for life. Yeah, I think this is a true low point for the franchise. I think it's a big public low point for the franchise. I saw some other people with that take as well. You've got your Disney defenders, you know, you've got your Disney Star Wars defenders. You got some people that might not think it's all that bad or whatever. But I think for many of us, it is legitimately a low point for the franchise, and don't worry, I'll explain it. Oh, you're good, Kendall. It's all good, brother. Zach says, appreciate the gifted, man. Tough Luck says with a 10 spot. Sorry, Josh, but this Mando. Oh, here we go. Sorry, Josh, but this Mando Grogu spot worked as a way to get not fans, but kids, casuals, and middle-aged adults who aren't into Star Wars like my mom to go see it. You underestimate Mando and Grogu. Oh, shit, dog. Look, I'd love to buy into what you're selling, brother. But part of why I can is like, I think the kids are not all right. I think the kids are watching morons smash their own bones on like streams and stuff. I don't think the kids give a fuck about a 30-year-old beer commercial nostalgia thing, or Mando, or Grogu, or frankly me, or frankly anything. But thank you for the 10. Trev says, up close to $500 on my Super Bowl bet last night. Thought I would share. What does that mean? So you were just close to 500 up or whatever? That's cool. Did you have like parlays? Did you do multiple bets? Yeah, what was all that? Let me know. That's good for you though, man. That's good. I actually did not watch a lot of the Super Bowl. Part of it's just because we went out to my dad's and we watched a little bit of it, and then like the kids had to come back and get ready for bed before the Super Bowl was over. And then part of it was like the game was ass, bro. Like it was terrible. I literally turned it off. So I actually didn't watch a ton of it. And I don't know shit about Seattle, dude. Otherwise, maybe I would have done some betting myself. Tough Luck says, also, Josh, it seems Disney and Lucasfilm are taking the marketing approach used with live-action Lilo and Stitch into marketing Mando and Grogu, which means we may get a full trailer with Pixar's Hoopers. Okay, yeah. That could absolutely be. And again, I appreciate the support, and it seems like you're maybe a little... You're trying to stick up for Mando and Grogu, and we respect that. That's fine. I am going to shit all over it. Like I'm going to take a big old duke. I don't agree with your takes. I'm still going to go really hard. I'm going to go for the throat and try to literally poop into the hole inside Star Wars jugular that I tear open. I'm going to try to like defecate it. I know it's probably too much, but my point is like, I really appreciate it. I get the energy behind it, but fuck that. We're gonna shit on Star Wars today. I'm sorry, bud. But maybe Hoppers or Hoopers will be good, and we'll get the actual Mando Grogu trailer there. That's a fair point. Melvin says the $5 holla says, y'all remember the silly attack of the clones Go-Gurt commercials? The Go-Gurts with the lightsabers? Those got me so hyped when I was a kid. No, dog, I really don't remember that. I don't remember that. That is funny, random. Hey, you never know what you're gonna get. A Den of Nerds stream is like a box of chocolates that a homeless guy gives to you. You just never know what you're gonna get, and you should be very cautious about everything that you touch. But really appreciate that. Okay, Tough is following it up. Okay, here we go. Third $10 super chat from my man here, Tough Luck, who again is just lobbying for Mando and Grogu, and I totally respect that. I am gonna shit all over this thing. Star Wars is a walking corpse. But let's read what he has to say. I wish, Josh, that you would see this dude's using the Oxford comma like correctly. That's weird. That's just so you know. Like that's weird online. I wish Andor cultists would see that Star Wars is for kids per George. That's why Mando Grogu will succeed, because kids who aren't terminally online. Oh man, again, would love to believe that, man. You know what I mean? Like what you're selling is a sweet vision of the world. So it's about 120 million people that are watching the Super Bowl, okay? And maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And it's certainly the case too that a lot of kids watch the game. So you're telling me that spending $10 million on a 30-second Anheuser-Busch nostalgia commercial with the Star Wars brand is the key to unlocking, quote, kids that are not chronically online to go watch the movie? Let me just take a sip of coffee here, okay? Let me just take a sip of coffee here, brother. I respectfully have a different take. Thank you for the 10 spot. Rossi says, I'm so miserable right now. Mando is cooked. Yeah, pretty cooked. Kathleen Kennedy says, Super Bowl ads more dystopian than dystopian films. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's another part of it, right? That's another wild part of watching the Super Bowl. It's like getting fed what corporate America in the late stages of failing capitalism thinks is a good idea in completely tone-deaf ways. I mean, yeah, it was bizarre. It was fucking bizarre. Like, it was like, it was like, dog, we are in a techno-feudalist future. Who is this ad for? Like, what is happening, bro? Like, yeah, it was pretty weird. Tough Luck says, still, Mando and Grogu does $500 million and will be a hit. Hey, if it does $500 million, I don't know that I would say that's a hit, but I would say that's pretty fucking good, brother. If it gets to $500 million, consider me surprised. I would be surprised by that, and I would give credit to the movie. John Johnson says, it bombed, but she already gone? Fair. Josh, the metal intro is fire. Rock on. Appreciate you, brother. Rossi says, the MCU didn't put out a trailer because Mando. Also, shame on them. I gotta be honest with you. I'm kind of glad. I wonder what you guys think. Okay, but I'm kind of glad that Marvel didn't do the Super Bowl. I feel like the Super Bowl kind of stinks. The whole thing kind of fucking stinks. I felt like a lot of the trailers were ridiculous. The ads were ridiculous. The trailers were whack. The game itself was boring as fuck. Worst Super Bowl ever, you know? So it's probably good that Marvel didn't do it because they don't want that stink on them. Chase Window says, I stay positive, but this really shows the disconnect. Yeah, I mean, that's a really respectful way to say it. I'm going to be way more harsh about it. But yes, that is one of the points. I think that's actually like probably the most, like, that's the real take, is it actually just shows the disconnect. And it's like, you know, on the one hand, you don't have to necessarily be cruel about how stupid it is to do this trailer, although I am going to be very cruel about it. You don't have to be cruel, though, to point out that it is out of touch. I mean, the vast majority of folks online thought it was fucking ridiculous. It has less than 2 million views on the YouTube channel. They did a share thing, so it's on 3 different massive YouTube channels. They paid $10 million for the spot. I mean, at the very least, I think you could say it's out of touch, even if you liked it, because you'd have to look around and be like, man, it seems like a lot of people didn't like it. So therefore, like, probably out of touch. Don't worry, though. I'm going to get way more rude about it. Nick says, it's sad to see what the Star Wars product has become. They only care about money, not the product. Yeah, I mean, look, there are people there that really care about the product still to this day. There are people at Lucasfilm that really care about it. I think John really cares about it. I mean, I don't know exactly whose idea this was, but John directed this thing, and I'm sure he did it with the intention and the thought that it would be really cool and really fun and activate the brand. But it really does speak to the disconnect, because that's not at all the take that people have, and it really doesn't matter how much like goodwill or fucking holiday cheer or nostalgia Jon Favreau was feeling when he looked at the final cut of that trailer. That does not fucking matter at all. It matters how it hit the public. That's why you paid $10 million to put it in front of 120 million people. And, you know, it didn't go well. So, yeah, it's fucking sad, dog. It really is. I thought it was Cerveza Crystal they were going to do. I don't know what that means, man. If you have to look up the Mando trailer means, the trailer already lost translation. The fact that it's a beer commercial is even crazier. Yeah. I mean, dude, the thing that I thought so bad, so fucking bad. Should we just get into it? Let's just get into it, okay? All right. Let me pull some stuff around so that we can actually look at this fucking turd. Let's see here. What's this look like? Yeah. We'll do it like this. Oh, goodness gracious. Great Aunt Marie. Oh, baby. Okay. All right, here we go, chat. Let's just fucking do this. Let's get into this, man. Okay, so yesterday was a Super Bowl trailer, the Super Bowl, and there was a trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, we had heard this was a thing. Up until about a week ago, a little bit more than a week ago, we had hopes and dreams of an Avengers Doomsday trailer where RDJ Doctor Doom comes out fucking rips a spine, shits on Toby, does all sorts of crazy stuff, and we all lose our fucking mind, and we're like, oh my God, you know, we had dreams of that. Those dreams were shattered, scattered to the wind, destroyed. As we found out via the Hollywood trades late last week that there would be no Avengers Doomsday trailer at the Super Bowl, and there would be no Spider-Man trailer either. Kind of a fucking double whammy for Marvel fans. Now, what we did here was that Disney was going to show a trailer. I think they actually probably showed a couple of trailers, but they showed a teaser trailer for Mando and Grogu. Now, listen. I said in the analysis of that move, oh, that's kind of interesting. I'm not that excited for it. In fact, I won't even do a Super Bowl stream anymore because I don't really like Star Wars. Like, Star Wars sucks ass. But I was like, this movie does need it. Meaning, Avengers Doomsday is probably going to be fine. It doesn't really need a Super Bowl trailer. Spider-Man is probably going to be fine. It doesn't really need a Super Bowl trailer. And I was like, okay, yeah, this movie, big, important movie. Last time a Star Wars movie was in theaters was 7 years ago. Rise of Skywalker was a big mess. You know, Star Wars is what it is. This is a big deal. So, yes, put the Star Wars trailer, put the Mando Grogu trailer in the Super Bowl. Use the massive amount of resources that it would cost to put a teaser trailer out to promote the Star Wars movie. And what we thought would happen is they would do a Deadpool Wolverine 30-second spot, full trailer online. Okay, at least that's what I thought would happen. Chad, is that what you guys thought was going to happen? That's what I thought was going to fucking happen. And I still wasn't going to stream. I was like, nah, man, I'm not going to stream because, again, it's Star Wars. But I was like, okay, this all is starting to make sense. And I tell you what, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, obviously. And if that trailer's really lit and it makes me want to go online, and then I'm like, yo, that Mando trailer is fucking dope online. Oh, my God. All of a sudden, I'm getting excited about it. I started to think, wow, what if that happens? That would be amazing. Then Monday, we could actually talk about how, like, wow, shocking turn of events. The Star Wars trailer, the Super Bowl was actually lit. Oh my God, the 30-second thing they did was great. And then the full trailer online was fucking incredible as well. Oh my, maybe Mando and Grogu is going to surprise us. Instead, we get this teaser trailer here, man. I'll play it for y'all.
Sometimes we choose our path. Other times, the path chooses us. Through it all, we keep pushing forward, driven by a deeper purpose, guided by an unseen force. The journey never gets any easier. The bond just gets harder to break. This is the way.
Oh man. Okay, so that's the trailer. That's what they decided to throw up, right? So I don't know how y'all saw this. I was on the couch. I was in my dad's living room. The trailer comes on. I noticed that it's a tauntaun. I was like, this is how it literally hit me. I'm sitting there. I'm like, kind of like having like a casual conversation or whatever. I see the thing come on, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh my God, is that a tauntaun? And I literally was like, I was like about to be like, oh, guys, that's a tauntaun. This is Star Wars. And then this little voice inside of me said, nobody gives a fuck, including you. Keep your mouth shut. And I didn't say shit. Then the rest of the trailer gets up, and it's like the nostalgia Anheuser-Busch fucking Clydesdale commercial. I genuinely could not fucking believe it. I could not fucking believe it, chat. I was like, that's the spot. And I thought to myself at that time, I was like, there's no way. So there has to be another part of the trailer. This is a nice little fun nostalgia thing. There's got to be a full trailer online. Nothing, dog. Nothing. So, I mean, guys, initial reaction, like first reaction here, ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. You know, the Star Wars post that promoted this on Twitter said something like, it's time for a new chapter. Dog, there ain't nothing new about this. What are you talking about? It's old beer commercial nostalgia. It's the fourth season of a show that's been on the air since the pandemic. It's a brand that started in the fucking 70s. There's nothing new. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about. Okay. So I think it's really, really bad. But you know what makes it worse, man? Let me see if I can find this for you. Because this is what really, because like, I had the reaction that I had, which was that is a fucking terrible trailer. I actually can't believe that's what they decided to put out, okay? But then I was like looking online, and I'm like, okay, like what's the reaction? Like what are other fans thinking about? You know what I mean? Like what are other people saying about this? Like how are people reacting to it? So this post that this guy did here, this really fucking sent me. And then here's this. Yeah, a new journey begins. I mean, you don't even want to necessarily look at the comments, bro. Like I am absolutely sure the comments are ridiculous. But here's the thing. This makes it apocalyptically bad. Okay? I just want to show you this. Okay? So just check this out. That was we watched the Clydesdale commercial. Okay? Check this out.
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Don't you agree?
Okay. So that turned me into the fucking Joker, dude. That turned me into the fucking Joker because I'm like, what is happening here? I'm like, what happened, Jon Favreau? Did your balls drop off? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is crazy town. We used to have the sauce. Like, this used to be it, man. That had fucking edge to it, mystery, intrigue. It seemed adult. It had, like, what the fuck happened? That's a couple of years back in The Mandalorian. And now it's selling you Mando, Grogu, Anheuser-Busch, nostalgia with the baby. I mean, dude, guys, this is fucking, it's insane to me. The fall off is ridiculous, and it does kind of make you wonder, like, do they even see it? Mandalorian, when it first came out, was hiding Baby Yoda, and so Grogu was not a big part of the marketing, this, that, second, and the third. To their own admittance, they didn't really even know how Grogu would go over with people. They certainly didn't expect that he would be such a big hit. And what did they do? They over commercialized the creature, the asset. They over commercialized it to a point of completely losing the identity of what made the show good and desirable in the first place. And now years later, this same brand that can't get its shit together created a movie version of this thing, and it's mostly because Grogu. You might ask yourself, well, wait a minute. Why is this trailer so like lighthearted and goofy and Grogu and all of that sort of stuff? It's because they are literally packaging and trying to sell you, oh, you think Grogu is cute? Go see this big Star Wars movie. Like, it is actually, like, it couldn't be more clear and obvious that is what happened. And, you know, there's a lot that has been said about season 2 of The Mandalorian, and the, you know, there's rumors out there that maybe it was Kathy or somebody at Disney that was like, hey, you need to bring Grogu back. He cannot just go be with Luke Skywalker, right? And I would argue that not just the show of The Mandalorian, but basically all of the Filoniverse, like, really loses its oomph and loses its direction when that decision is made, and it's like never really recovered. And at the end of the day, Star Wars is trying to act like nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, this is that I don't think it could be more plain and in black and white than to look at the first trailer for Mandalorian, what it was, what it felt like back then, what Star Wars felt like, and then to be transported now to what they're actually putting out there and what they're trying. I mean, just to kind of like give you an example of how out of touch I think Star Wars is. They spend like $10 million. I don't know what they spent to produce this. It literally looks like AI to me. Like, this shit looks like it was created with AI. So they spend all this money and they do all of this stuff to put this big trailer out to 120 million people at the Super Bowl, because the thought process is we can use that big platform, just tell people that a Mando Grogu movie is coming. People love Mando and Grogu. People love Baby Yoda. So they're going to go to the theater. And I think literally if they just would have had Shane Gillis come out, and literally Shane Gillis to be like, you know, Star Wars was about to make this terrible decision and put out a really, really stupid fucking trailer. So last minute they called me to fix the problem. And so here I am. Mando and Grogu. The show's not bad. And I think the movie would probably be all right too. And then he walks off, and I'm telling you, dead ass, that's a more effective trailer. But to understand why it's more effective would be to understand the state of media, how audiences respond to stuff. And it's like Lucasfilm is so far on the other side of that. The decision to do the Clydesdale Budweiser Tauntaun trailer spot is unfortunately case in point for how out of touch they are, and why it's very difficult to imagine this brand rehabilitating itself, because they fucked up the nostalgia. It just feels so corporate-y, product-y, and hollow. And I don't know that you can keep going back to like the nostalgia well to create that goodwill and to create people wanting to go see the thing. I just don't think that's going to outscale the damage and the negative feelings that you've had. The comments on social media on this post are terrible. The views on their YouTube channel are abysmal. And frankly, I don't even know what to expect from the movie, because they're not showing us a lot of the movie. I'm actually really terrified that this movie is like 2 hours of a horrific CGI hut with a fucking six-pack. And it's just like, it literally looks terrible. And I'm kind of afraid that that's why the marketing team's like, bro, do anything but show them what the movie is. Do anything but show them what the movie is. Instead, they're just like, you remember Star Wars? You remember Budweiser? Remember when things were good? Like, go see this movie. I guess we'll find out how well that works. My suspicion is, though, that it's not going to work really well. I'll tell you this, just for me as an audience member, I am really on the edge, okay? I'm on the edge of not going to see this movie in theaters. I'm serious. I'm actually 100% serious. I am very close to not watching this movie in theaters. This trailer did nothing but make me think that's probably going to end up being the right move, okay? So that, at the end of the day, is my take on the trailer. I really think it's one of the worst marketing decisions of all time. I think it does mark a low point for the brand. I think there's probably a lot of people that are going to be way nicer than me about it that would say the same. That would say this is a low point for the brand. It just seems completely fucking ridiculously out of touch. It doesn't do anything to actually tell you what's going on in the movie. It ignores the state of Star Wars. It ignores the state of the fandom. It's really, really bad. But I'm open to hearing your take on it as well, chat. So what do you think of this, guys? Let's first start with this. Is there anybody out there that is more excited to go see Mando and Grogu because of the Super Bowl spot? Let's start there. What do you guys think? Babu Frick, you remember? Oh, yeah, I remember, yeah. Baby Yoda appealing to kids and families is so incongruent with beer commercial nostalgia. Terrible idea from the outset. Yeah, it really, like, you really got to question, like, did nobody in that room be like, I think that's a bad idea, John? Like, do you know what I mean? I don't even know when it's coming out. I don't either, and it's on the screen in front of me. You know? I'm waiting for the proper trailers. Yeah. Yeah. Was Mando Grogu movie Iger's idea? We don't know for sure. Feels like so. It is to me, yeah. When the nostalgia card doesn't work. Yeah, I think the nostalgia card is getting declined here, you know? And also, too, and I know everyone will be so mad when I make this point, but this is actually made worse by Andor. Yeah, I know. Your favorite Star Wars thing, the thing you like. And to be real with you, look, as a fan of John and Dave and Mando and like Ahsoka and all that sort of stuff, shit like this makes me look bad, dog. Like, it really does. Like, you got all these Andor fans that are like, I like Andor. It's sophisticated. It doesn't seem like it was made for kids on the short bus. You know what I mean? I really like it. Like, I'm grown up. I want grown up Star Wars content. And I'm over here like, no, guys. Like, we're fine. Mando nostalgic cameo stuff. It's all about the Force, baby. And then they put a trailer out like this. Dog, it makes me look bad. It makes me look bad. It's like I'm defending the fucking beer nostalgia guy. No. Oh, man. And this is why we're in a death spiral. Because they put that out there. They have divided their own fan base against itself. And now they're like this really pale shadow of what they once was. It's a poor imitation, so they can't even do the nostalgia shit right. It's a death spiral, man. It's fucking bad. It's really bad. What are the chances this film is actually good? I mean, here's what's funny about that, right? I think there's a fair chance that this movie is decent. I just don't know that matters. Like, goddamn, that sucks to say. You know, it's funny. We're about to talk about Supergirl. The Supergirl movie and The Mandalorian and Grogu are actually in a very similar boat, in my opinion. And it may well be the case that the movie's better than we think, right? But you got to ask yourself at some point, like, if the movie is great, then why aren't they showing us more of it? You know? I would expect Mando and Grogu, at the very least, for people that aren't as bothered about like the state of Star Wars as I am, maybe you go in, you have a good time, and you're like, yeah, I'm in the Star Wars universe. You know what I mean? But I think a better question is, what are the chances this movie is the movie it needs to be to help Star Wars overall? I think that's a better question. Okay? And I think the chances of that are fairly low. It's a similar thing with Supergirl. It's like Supergirl, guys, people are saying Supergirl might be the Logan of comic book movies. It's like another Logan, like, oh my God, it's as good as Logan, which I think is fucking ridiculous, by the way. But that is a thing. People are saying that. Supergirl might end up being a movie that a lot of people really enjoy and think are really good. And it's like, oh man, like that one's really, really good, but it still underperforms or bombs. Okay? So the question should be, what are the chances that Mando and Grogu is a movie that all Star Wars fans really, really enjoy, that gets a lot of hype and has a lot of people excited, and there's a lot of conversation, and all of a sudden people are like, hey, I'm kind of vibing with Star Wars again, right? What are the chances of that? Low. Fucking low, bro. And I think this trailer, I mean, I feel like this trailer's anti-hype, bro. Like, I don't know. I will, if Disney somehow makes a bunch of money and they trace back to this trailer and they're like, this shit is incredible. But guys, remember after they did the Super Bowl trailer for Deadpool and Wolverine? And they were like, dude, it had this many views. Yo, Disney, what are the views on the Mando Grogu trailer? Because looking on YouTube, less than 2 million. Less than 2 million. What do you think it activated a lot of people? You think it really got a lot of people excited? I don't know, man. Tough Luck says, if people can't agree on what Star Wars needs to be going forward, maybe there should not be Star Wars anymore. Nobody needs movies or series going forward. I mean, dude, to be honest with you, like, I wish they would do that. I wish they would just stop making Star Wars content, frankly. But, you know, from Disney's perspective, they're not going to do that. It's a valuable asset. They want to keep it going. And I also reject the idea that everybody needs to agree exactly about what Star Wars is or what Star Wars should do. There's a way to create content that is so good and compelling and follows general rules of, like, respecting, you know, what has come before or whatnot. I think there's a way to make a show or a movie that, generally speaking, activates a lot more fans and gets them a lot more excited. One example of that is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. It's kind of crazy. Like, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms kind of came out of nowhere for a lot of folks. A lot of folks are calling it like the best A Song of Ice and Fire content that there ever was. And it's kind of interesting how that happened. And I think that show is doing certain things right that maybe if you would have, like, polled the entire fandom for A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones, and you asked them, like, would you like it if a show did this? Would you like it if a show did that? You're not going to get a consensus. It just happens to be the case that they built the show in such a way that a large portion of people like it and fuck with it. This gets into a little bit of, like, that Rick Rubin stuff where, you know, he says, you should, the audience is actually the last thing I think about. Now, when you're making commercial art, you have to be you got to actually think about the audience. But the point he's making is that when you try to make something by committee that, quote unquote, pleases everybody, you end up pleasing pretty much nobody. Okay? So, in a sense, even when making 4-quadrant mass appeal, you know, content, you still need to have a driving force of creative vision, right? So part of why George's prequels, I think, are looked upon in a much nicer light these days is, like, Disney fucked up the sequel trilogy, but they also fucked it up in a very specific way that George did not. George did a lot of weird stuff in Phantom Menace and Clones, and I think Revenge of the Sith is pretty tight. I think it's a pretty tight movie, but, you know, arguably there's a lot of holes and some gaps and some stuff that maybe didn't work as well in those first two films. It's flawed, right? That's the word you would use. It's flawed. But I think audiences have realized that they would accept flawed art that represented an actual vision of like a visionary director or writer rather than, like, corporate product. So George, you know, in prequels, with all the blemishes, all the weird stuff that they do, at the very least, there is a consistency of vision. There's something driving that feels consistent. Disney's did not, because they tried to please everybody. I mean, you look at Last Jedi into Rise of Skywalker is the best example. It's the best example. It's like, here, we're going to break Star Wars. Oh, but don't worry, JJ's going to put it all back. Guys, nobody liked that. Literally, it's like that meme. Nobody liked that, including the people that didn't like the stuff in The Last Jedi. They didn't even really like JJ coming in to outdo it because it's not a checklist. It's not a thing that you look at and you're like, here's Star Wars. No, it's like, it should be a journey, an adventure. There should be surprises, twists, turns along the way. But a vision is what's needed. You know what I mean? And I think that's ultimately the failure of this. It's like, you cannot sit there and tell me that when, like, we just watched this trailer, right, with the first season of Mando, and it's like, bro, there's something in that trailer. And I wonder if you agree with this, chat, because sometimes I'm just a crazy motherfucker, right? But to me, I look at that old Mando Grogu trailer, and it's got the sauce. There's something there. It's a little unrefined. I'm not sure exactly what I'm looking at, but it's got a pulse. It's got an edge. There's some fucking vibration coming off of that. You know, it's something. It feels different. When I look at the Super Bowl trailer, I get none of that. There's no vision. There's no like energy of creation. I'm not drawn to it. There's no resonance. It feels hollow, empty, low vibration, like a slack jaw kind of opioid thing. It feels soulless. Yeah. You said, I still plan to help the film succeed. Filoni won't lose Star Wars film like how George lost THX, American Graffiti, and all that. Yeah, I mean, you can feel how you feel about it, brother. At the end of the day, like, it's good that people are wanting to support Star Wars and, like, still are like, nah, man, like, I want this film to succeed. I want Star Wars to succeed. I love that for you. But I'm not there. And I think a lot of other people are not there. And if Star Wars wants to get back to where it was, then frankly, they don't need to think about people like you. No offense. Seems like you're in it for no matter what. They should probably think a little bit more about people like me and people in chat. You know, the kind of people that are out there like quote tweeting this thing and being like, Star Wars is fucking dead. Or you know, the people that are making thumbnails that say, I'm dead inside, you know. I think it would be cool if Star Wars started to gain a different kind of rep, you know. But I do appreciate the support. Actual real life commercials have more hype than this Mando Grogu shit. Star Wars is cooked. It has no reach or aura. Get rid of everybody in charge and get some horror guys in there or something. Yeah, something shaking it up I think would be great. And look, at the end of the day, this trailer was probably put into motion a long time ago. People at Lucasfilm thought it was a great idea. Is it the end of the world that Star Wars fucked up a big opportunity like this, put out a trailer that frankly a lot of folks don't like? It's not the end of the world because the world was already over. Star Wars is cooked. It's fucking over, guys. Like, it doesn't matter. But if they want to start turning it around, I'd consider making better choices. And my biggest concern, even with Filoni in there, is that they cannot appreciate the degree to which the world is moving on. The audience online is moving on. Yeah, so I truly think terrible trailer. Fuck you, Star Wars. Everybody that did this, you're stupid. And also, too, like, it's okay that we'll sit here and be like, I think that sucks ass, actually. And we're way past them being like, oh, these just toxic fans. We can't consider what they're saying. It only matters what these fans think. Guys, you guys have fucked it up so bad that literally Ryan Airy, and I like Ryan Airy, all respect to Ryan Airy, but he fucking likes everything. He's like the most positive motherfucker you'll ever meet, and it's like so fucking annoying. Ryan Airy is calling it the low point of the franchise on Twitter to his how many of her followers. Okay? So I just want y'all to realize that it's so cooked that basically anybody other than probably pedantic, neurodivergent people that just kind of dig their heels into the sand sees this for what it is, and it ain't good. Okay, let's move on. And that was 28 minutes. I cannot believe you guys let me yap for 28 minutes about that. That's fucking crazy. Okay. All right. Oh, yeah. What a great first segment there, man. That was pretty good. When Lucasfilm hears people say Star Wars should be for kids, they overcorrect and think Disney Junior and Grogu, but kids from 10 to 13 want and seek challenging adventure stories. That's George. Goddamn, Adam. Where'd that come from? What a poignant take. On the nose. On the nose, as it were. I think I missed a couple of soupies. Let me look back. I'm not sure. Oh, no. Okay, so the homies just wants the movie to succeed. Totally get it. Star Wars Sith, what up, brother? Says, just got here, but I'm so disappointed with Star Wars and spending all that money on a nothing TV spot. This is not where the fun begins. Yeah, I agree, and I think that's a nice way to say it. I've been being a little more rude about it, as you can imagine. But yeah, no, I just think, hey, guess what? Star Wars, throw another L up on the wall because it's another big old L. And my God, it would be great if we could have a meeting where we like look back there and we're like, damn, there's like very few W's on this wall, a lot of L's. What the fuck is going on, huh? Hey, I got a question. What the fuck is going on, huh? Yeah, wouldn't that be something? You have not been rude enough. Yeah, maybe not. You actually weren't that rude. It was pretty nuanced. Oh, well, damn, I got to turn up the toxicity then. Sorry, guys. I'll do better next time. It's coarse, it's rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we got to talk a little bit about Supergirl. We got to talk a little bit about Tremel Tillman, Defenders, a little bit of Marvel, this, that, second, and third. Let's see here. What do I got here? Okay, yeah, so we got a good bit on Spider-Man, so that should be good. Yo, would y'all mind if I put another coffee on? I feel like I need another coffee before we do the Supergirl segment. Y'all gonna be okay? The Mando Grogu trailer was like the Matthew McConaughey car commercial. Want it to be good, but damn. Oh, yeah. I mean, I obviously really didn't like the trailer, and I think a lot of people saw it for, at the very least, a weird choice. I think you could maybe extend that to a bad choice. You could extend that to like a really bad choice, and considering what is at stake and the opportunity, you could consider it one of the worst marketing choices of all time, because I think it's pretty bad. But we'll just see. I guess at the end of the day, like, the thing could make $500-$600-$700 million, and fuck me then, I guess, huh? We'll see. Can we blame Justin for the Mando trailer as well? You can. I am not going to I'm not going to stand in between you and the blame of something going to Justin. That is fine with me, you know what I mean? But the thing on Friday was not really his fault. I need to be in a better mind state to be able to handle chat. Chat's going to chat. You know what I mean? It's up to Papa Josh to be more calm. And on that note, I'm going to go get a coffee. Y'all be good. Will you be good? Here, let me throw this up so you guys can see yourselves. Oh my God. What the fuck? Hang on. What the fuck? All right, there you go. Let me pull this up here. All right, now you can see yourself. This is like putting on a kid in front of a mirror. You know, entertain yourself, chat. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, the tower, pretty cool, huh? Did you guys like that model? Pretty cool, huh? Hell yeah. Got so tired out of nowhere? You might want to get that checked. Maybe the radon levels in your house or something. Mando trailer was better than the halftime show. Ah, yes, the halftime show. Another thing for us to fight about. Hey, did you guys like the halftime show? Real quick, chat, real quick. Give me your full thoughts on the halftime show. what, you know, are you anti Bad Bunny? Are you pro Bad Bunny? Did you like Kid Rock? Did you watch that? Do you think the Chuds won, or you think the liberals, the libs got it? Go ahead, throw it into the chat. And I'm going to just minimize that window. Don't give a shit. Let it out of your system, though, by all means. I don't care what you think about it. I don't care what you think about it. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. All right. Should we talk about Supergirl? Should we watch the trailer? Let me see if I can pull it up. Supergirl. All right, here we go. On discussing film. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Josh, how many Warhammer dolls do you have? Plenty. Plenty, and yet somehow not enough. That's the trick. That's the trick when it comes to Warhammer, baby. Had a colonoscopy this morning. Thought I'd let y'all know. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, we just went over the Mando and Grogu Super Bowl trailer, so similar vibes. Similar feelings. Okay. All right, lads and lasses, here we go. Let's get into it here. Let's get into it here. Okay, so there was a new Supergirl trailer that dropped yesterday. I believe it did come out on the Puppy Bowl. And it is a shortened version of the trailer that we've seen in the past. Let me see here. Let me get it pulled up. We'll react to it together. Did you guys see this? What are your thoughts, chat? What do you think, huh? Pretty good? Pretty good? All right, let's watch it. Let's run it through together, and then we'll talk about it, okay?
Who are you? What was it like to lose everything in a day?
Krypton didn't die in a day. The gods are not that kind. This is not gonna end well for you guys.
What's Superman like?
He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
Okay, so a couple of things going on here. Obviously, they're leaning in on the crypto pretty hard here. And, you know, that's just been the thing. That's been the DC thing. It's like they're Grogu, which should probably tell you kind of how I'm feeling about it a little bit. But to be fair, Grogu hasn't, or rather, crypto hasn't quite jumped the shark yet, at least with a lot of fans. So, you know, I still think there's a lot of crypto love out there. I'll be honest with you guys. I think that's a better trailer. I think it has a better tone. And I think they're selling the film a little bit more as serious and as dramatic. And even the cut of the song is slightly altered here. So there's like, they did a bit of a different thing, which, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw this. And apparently, chat, somebody tell me if this is true. I'm going to pull up chat, which is always a mistake in the middle of a segment. But chat, is it true that the guy that did a lot of the mixing for the soundtracks for Zack Snyder has gotten brought onto the Supergirl movie, Junkie XL? Is that true? Is that actually true? Like, let me know in the chat. But it does seem like the cut of this, yeah, so, wow, that's crazy. Well, okay. Anyway, point is, this is better The sound is better. I wonder if that's Junkie XL. Maybe not, but either way, whoever cut the music into this did a better job because it's a little bit more serious. It seems like they've blended other songs or made this song altered in a way that it's not as silly and goofy. The vibe is a little bit stronger. I also think it's like a little more boom, 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 succinct, a little less of like, you know, crypto pissing on newspapers and shit like that. So overall, I think a much better trailer. Frankly, really wish this trailer, although it's not that great, really wish this was the first trailer, because I think one of the things that people, and again, Gunn himself, I think, underestimates this, but it's really not his fault, right? Everybody else should be around him, like telling him this. Everybody's going to have trouble killing their own babies in the creative sense, right? But the first trailer is so James Gunn. I'm sorry. The crypto piss on the newspaper, terrible. Should have cut it. The Krem character doing that weird lean in with the face. The bus driver guy that's all goofy and silly. Nah, man. Like, I'm sorry. All of that stuff is the not only is it the wrong choice, it's the wrong vibe for promoting the film. The unfortunate reality is this trailer is good, but probably not good enough to overcome the massive amount of hate and shitting on it that the first trailer got. Like, basically, like, I think first impressions matter. You can certainly win people back. But like, this trailer specifically is better, and I want to give credit where credit is due. But ultimately, this trailer is not enough to overcome what I think is already a sort of set in stone destiny for this movie, which was set in stone when they released the first trailer. You know what I mean? So I'm really, really concerned. Now, here's the other thing. Before this happened, actually, we noticed this on our Discord. Somebody was, one of the members was talking about this. There's word out there, there's a buzz that is building out there about the recent screenings for Supergirl. Now, this is real, okay, because like Cryptic HD chimed in with this. Other people were talking about this. The screenings for Supergirl apparently have been much better. Whatever this current cut of it is, a lot of people speaking very highly of Supergirl. I'm dead ass here, okay? I'm actually being honest. That is what the reports are. Some people are taking it as far as to say that it's like Logan level. And I got to tell you, man, that was just a little too far for me. That was just a little too much. Like, it would have been fine if they were like, dude, like, this movie is silly, you know, this movie is ridiculous and whatever, right? I just totally lost my fucking train of thought. Oh, the Logan shit, right? It would have been fine if they said this movie is way better than we thought. If the buzz and if what people were saying about the screenings were it's really, really good. But to take it to that level where you say Logan and shit like that, it's just ringing a little bit too much like The Flash. I mean, James Gunn said he thought The Flash was one of the best superhero movies ever seen. And I don't know, because I've never watched The Flash. I can't quite say whether that's true or not. I know Tom Cruise said it's an incredible, important movie that we need at this time and some stupid shit like that. And I'm sorry. Like, that's just a little too far. Like, to say that it's like Logan level or it's doing things like that, it's operating like that, just feels a little bit too far. It makes me question the validity of that. I think people are being hyperbolic. I think they're getting excited. I think they really want this movie to succeed. Unfortunately, DC and the Supergirl movie specifically has found it in a position where a lot of the chuds are rooting for the movie to fail. By the way, I'm not one of those chuds. You know what I mean? I have a chud card. I'm a card-carrying member of Team Chud, but I depart from the chud line on this one. I don't want the movie to fail. I'm not going to cheer if the movie fails, but I actually do think it will fail. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, and I think part of that has to do with where a lot of the chuds are currently at with the movie. But I also think there's just a lot of normies that either have enough comic book movie fatigue. You know, we just recently had the truth revealed about how Superman underperformed, which Ted Sarandis sort of admits, you know, under threat of perjury in front of the Senate. So there's a lot of folks that are just not really vibing with this whole James Gunn DCU thing. Maybe not really vibing with superheroes in general anymore. There's a lot working against the movie. The point I'm trying to make is I think Supergirl finds itself unfortunately, as the latest target for a culture war type of issue. Okay? And I wonder what you think about that. Do you agree or not? Like, let's just start with that question, guys. I think Supergirl, for better or worse, and probably for worse, finds itself as the new target of a culture war fight. Do you agree or do you disagree with that? And I don't think it needs to be. I don't think it should be. But I unfortunately think it is. And I don't think Supergirl is going to be able to, like, kind of crawl out from under that reputation. Right? And there's not enough sort of going for the movie doesn't have enough going for it to overcome all of that. And so it's starting to seem like, from my perspective here, and I'm just trying to call it like I sees it, I think Supergirl's probably going to be a pretty decent movie. I think for hardcore comic fans, like a lot of us that are in here, we'll go see it. Maybe some of you won't because you're like, nah, dude, I'm way too much of a chud to go see this shit. But like, I'll go see it. And I might walk out and be like, dude, that was surprisingly good. Oh my God, it's better than I expected. But here's the thing. I said the same thing about Superman. And yet I really don't think the DCU is going well. Right? And I think at some point you'd have to ask yourself, like, okay, so all cockbockery aside, all the online discussion, you know, the haters, the positive shills, the Gooner fans, all that shit, like, strip away all of that. Like, what is this thing resonating with people? Are people fucking with this thing or not? That's really the question. And I think at some point we're going to have to look at DC and the DCU, and we're going to have to give an honest answer about that. You know, this is not just like another year. This is the second year of actual live action DCU content coming out. It's a year where the DCU has 3 separate live action projects. Guys, at the end of this year, we must look back at Superman and all other DCU projects and just kind of ask the question, how's this universe doing? Are we doing better than the universe we replaced, number one? Number two, does it look like things are gaining traction? Is there momentum? Is there hype building? Because the whole reason you can stomach a Superman movie underperforming is that it kicks off a universe that you think you can make money on for years and years and years to come. Does that look like it's happening? So, I don't know, man. Like, I really think Supergirl, things can underperform. I think it's going to do worse than Mando and Grogu, and I think it's going to be better than Mando and Grogu. And I guess we'll just see. Would love to know what you think about this, chat. What do you guys think? What did you think of the trailer? What do you think of DCU in general? What do you think about it being Logan-esque, you know, that some people are saying? Like, what do you think about this? Genuinely really believe Supergirl is going to be great. Very concerned about the box office. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, that's like the take. Probably going to be a decent film, you know? Does anybody care? Is it moving the needle? Is this the movie that the DCU needed for its second entry? I mean, yeah, I guess that's the question, right? That's the big question. Still gonna be better than Man of Steel. That's just bait, you know what I mean? Appreciate you, Ben. You know, I understand. It's really sad that Star Wars is dead, and you gotta try to take it out on Zack Snyder and all that. I totally get it. It's going to be good, but the trailer looks ass. Yeah, fair. No one really cares enough to make it a flop. If it flops, it's on DC for choosing to make Supergirl movie at a time like this. Chuds will no effect on it because they don't know or care about it. That's interesting. Yeah. Hard to say exactly how much some of that noise and the internet stuff affects actual box office, right? And I think that is, like, honestly kind of like a question for our day and age. There's sometimes you look at an example, like I look at a movie like Joker 2, right? And I basically am saying to myself, there's no way Joker 2 would bomb the way it does without the internet. Like, really. Before the internet, it would have been basically impossible for a sequel to a movie that made $1 billion to come out and underperform to the degree that it did. That would basically be impossible. So I think the internet makes that narrative, creates that counter narrative, and I actually think that's a big part of like why even stuff like the Super Bowl commercial, and it's just things are not happening the way that a lot of people at the top think they are happening. But I would also concede that a whole bunch of angry chuds online that are very vocal about something does not necessarily mean that that is how a lot of folks online view it. And I point to things like Barbie or Super Mario Brothers. Super Mario Brothers came out in the trailer. It's like the right-wing grifting community had a civil war on whether or not it's woke. And that at least speaks to the fact that like the audience that a lot of these chuds are probably watching was probably divided somewhat on how they felt about it. They're getting like a mixed signals from the in-group, but also those movies crushed. So it actually can't be the case that like a whole bunch of chuds worldwide decided, fuck those movies. No, actually a lot of chuds watch those movies. I would venture to say a lot of chuds watch those movies multiple times. So there's something to what you're saying. I'm not ready to say there's no correlation or connection whatsoever, right? But I think the sort of question about how that all fits together is really interesting, you know, for sure. For sure. Super interesting. Better trailer. Cool that we're going to spend time on Krypton with the puppy Crypto, but it still seems to be below the hype line. Yeah. Again, it's not hyping me up at all. The action doesn't really look any better. If anything, they've just cut parts of it out. It doesn't look better as far as color correction or anything like that. It just tonally feels a little bit better. But what is that? I mean, that's like me just kind of saying like, okay, well, this was just a little bit better. It doesn't really change how I feel about the movie, right? What's the cost of Supergirl and how much do you think it'll make? I bet it's a relatively cheap movie, but when I say that, you're probably still talking about like $150 million, right? So what does it need to break even? I mean, unfortunately, a movie that costs $150 million needs to make $450 million to basically have profit. I believe that's the math. That's like the shorthand of it. That math kind of changes a little bit, but yeah, you're basically looking at it needs to get close to $500 million and that's like to just start to make money, basically. Yeah. Yeah, Markiplier already made his movie for $3 million, and it's over $31 million at the box office. Yeah, thought it was 2.5. Yeah, that's basically the math. It's 2.5. So you know what's funny about that is the Markiplier thing is great. Why did the fucking TV just change? Oh my God, I gotta go turn the TV off. So this is what's interesting about let me just make this point real quick. You look at the Markiplier thing and it's interesting, but it also shows kind of the flawed reality of Hollywood. Because you're talking about a movie that made $31 million, that they're calling this massive success because it cost $3 million. But you look at the Demon Slayer movie, that movie cost $30 million to make and market and made $800 million worldwide. So like what are we talking about here? You know what I mean? I'll be right back. I got to go turn off the haunted TV. All right, well, that's pretty much all I got to say about Supergirl. I think we had a good discussion on it. Again, not trying to hate on the movie, want the movie to be good, want the movie to succeed, but I also just got to call it like I see it. I don't see this movie being a big hit. I think they've made a poor decision on how to launch this universe, which is crazy too, because you look at the comic book success of DC and like Absolute Batman, man, it's like, it's just tough. Like, it feels like in some ways DC has more sauce than ever. And I really think the James Gunn stuff is just not it, man. It's just not it. But Matthew Bellany said in his newsletter, Supergirl is a cheaper DC film, and that Gunn and crew kept the price very reasonable. So we shall see. Yeah, and like, look, that could work, and it's not a bad thing if they're like, actually, we squeeze out a profit here, okay? But it's hard to sell a universe as this big hype thing. Like, this is why I think there's like, just Hollywood is like, it's not really appreciating what is happening. Because like you say, oh, dude, like, okay, so what if you say this movie costs $80 million? Like, I think if this movie gets to like $300-400 million, and then we say it cost $80 million, right? Or something like that, I still think the thing gets clowned on. I don't think that is hype at all. It's like Fantastic Four, okay? Fantastic Four, it was one of the cheapest Marvel movies ever made. And there were some headlines, there were some stories about that, and this is why, like, it's actually funny because I think Fantastic Four actually made more money than Superman, partially because they just way overspent on Superman and they underspent on Fantastic Four. But like Marvel fans, all y'all Marvel fans, does it excite you at all that the Fantastic Four movie is one of the cheapest Marvel movies of all time? Like, does that excite you at all? Does that make you want to like tell your friends about that and shit like that? And I know that's not really fair, because what you're kind of saying is, oh, well, the studios just get clowned on if they lose money. But then if they create a model that works within the current diminished state of the theaters, they still get clowned on? Yeah, I'm sorry. Life ain't fair. That's what it is. Like, all I can tell you is from my perspective, what will happen? What will the human reaction be? How will people on the internet react to this shit? And that's what it is. Like, you're not going to get a gold star for saying, you know, we made $30-40 million in ticket sale profit because we kept costs down to this. Fans do not give a shit about that. However, if you lose $30-40 million, they're going to call you a flop. It's not fair. What are you going to do about it? That's basically where I'm at with it. All right, let's get on out of this DC bullshit, man. Fuck this shit. Man, fuck this shit, man. Man, fuck this shit. Let's talk about some Marvel stuff. Let's talk about Marvel. Let's talk about Marvel. I went and watched Iron Lung instead. Oh, that's cool, man. I'm glad you had a good time. I imagine it was fun. Yeah? It's Marvel time, baby. It's Marvel time. It's Marvel time, baby. It's Marvel time. All right, let's talk some Marvel. First, let's talk about Timel Trillman. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Incredible actor, blowing up on the scene lately. Was in that last Mission Impossible movie, which was so bad. Oh my God, what a terrible movie. But he was a standout performer in that movie. And it just seems to be this pattern where Marvel Studios grabs up this new actor on the rise, and they're so good, and we're all excited that they're in the MCU, and then we're going to make them the most random side story, backstory, side character bullshit thing that's not exciting in any way, shape, or form. So it was confirmed, and let me look this up. I literally got to look this motherfucker up. Tremel Tillman, incredible actor, blowing up on the scene, awesome dude. Holy shit, we're all so excited. Playing William Metzger in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Playing William Metzger in Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is ass. Who the fuck is William Metzger? Why can't they get the awesome fucking Tremel Tillman guy that's great to play a character that's a big deal, that's awesome, that we can all get excited about? So look, I'm not trying to freak out here, because it's like, at the end of the day, he will make this character awesome. That's what it is. Like, he's so talented, he's so well known, he's got the sauce right now that he will make this bullshit ass William Metzger bullshit, who the fuck knows about this guy, character awesome. And hopefully the script and the plan for him has multiple movies and goes in the X-Men saga, and we're building up this big thing and all that. But I don't know, man. I don't know, because you look at Giancarlo Esposito, he's fucking Sidewinder, and I don't know, he hasn't really been talking about that show. Remember, he was at Comic-Con, and he was like, there's going to be a show. You're going to be blown away by this guy that I'm playing. It's not Professor X, but it's cooler than Professor X. It's Sidewinder, right, kids? Hello, fellow kids. Like, holy shit, this keeps happening. It's terrible. It's terrible. Okay? So I'm not pumped. I wish he was playing somebody cooler. However, what this actually means and what this kind of means for the movie and what this kind of means for Spider-Man and all that stuff is actually pretty cool, because this guy's very anti-mutant. So this ties into stuff that, you know, Alex Perez has been talking about, that basically Damage Control, or the Department of Damage Control, was going to end up being very anti-mutant in the movie. And, Tremel Tillman is going to be an anti-mutant figure, something like a William Stryker, but not William Stryker, going forward. Now, why that has people excited, right, is because it probably soft confirms the Jean Grey thing. I mean, again, this is stuff that we kind of heard about before. Jean Grey thing feels very real to me. I continue to believe that it's Jean Grey. I haven't, like... it's funny. People ask me, like, do you still think it's Jean Grey? Yeah, motherfucker, I still think it's Jean Grey. Did you go check with your source? No, motherfucker, I didn't go. Hey, Mr. Source, people online are really talking some shit. I just want to make sure that Sadie Sink is like, no, I could be wrong. Looking like I'm right. Probably Jean Grey. Okay? And that is cool, and that is exciting. I know it's a little bit confusing. Why would they do this? Jean in the Spider-Man movie and all that. And we'll get into it a little bit, because I do want to talk more about some of the rumors and how Spider-Man Brand New Day connects to Secret Wars and not Doomsday, and, like, what does that actually mean here? But this is the exciting part, is that it does seem like more mutant stuff is going on. It really does seem like Sadie Sink will play Jean Grey. She's a mutant either way. And again, I mean, I think we're starting to run out of excuses to think she's not Jean Grey, to be honest with you. So I think that that's probably what it is. And that's cool. The only other thing, and it's like sort of a side, small thing that I want to connect here, is they released, I think over the weekend, Alex Perez and the Cosmic Circus released a new Q&A, and they did talk a little bit more about, like, Defenders. And Alex suggested that they want a Defenders type of a thing going on with maybe Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Punisher, Daredevil, and Spider-Man. And they want to do that in a movie. And so it was sort of suggested that there might be a sort of Defenders direction, and they're going in a Defenders direction with the New York street level characters, and they might do a Devil's Reign kind of setup thing for a movie. I think that would be so cool. Like, I think that would be great. But it also kind of shows you that whatever's going on with Spider-Man Brand New Day is really a side mission. Maybe some of the Defender stuff could get soft set up in there because Punisher's in the movie. And maybe they'll fool with some other street level New York kind of stuff that is set up. But ultimately, like, the stuff with Jean, the stuff with the mutants, and the way it connects to Secret Wars must be separate from what the actual story is going to be with Tom Holland moving forward past that. So that's kind of cool. I do think that would be fun. Like, for me, and I think a lot of fans have wanted this. You know, the next Spider-Man movie in general has been a movie that ever since No Way Home we've conversed a lot about. There's been a lot of reports about. At one time, it was seemingly a Kingpin movie with Daredevil, with maybe Punisher, and it was really going to be a Devil's Reign thing. That obviously got pushed to the side because of what was going on with Secret Wars and Doomsday and all of that. So, little sidebar, a little bit of a pause there, but ultimately I think that is a fun direction to take Peter in. I think that would be a cool thing to do for the next couple of movies, and it would be fresh. Like, it still would be fresh, especially when we go hardcore multiverse in the next couple of years. Going back to a street level thing with Kingpin, with Devil's Reign, with the Defenders. I actually really like that. I think that could really, really work. So, there you have it, guys. Just a little bit of an update here about the casting of Tremel Tillman, about, you know, the Jean Grey stuff, and then in maybe the direction of Tom Holland Spider-Man in the future. What do you guys think of that? Like, what do you think of this Tillman casting, the mutant stuff, all of it? Any questions, man? Let's yap about this for a little bit, and then I want to talk a little bit more about broad strokes. What might be going on with Spider-Man? Like, why haven't we seen this trailer? There's a leaked description of what the trailer might be. There's a lot of stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff out there. So what are you thinking? What are you thinking, chat? Went through all the Warhammer Explained channel videos last night. Loving this IP so far. Oh, I'm glad you like those videos, man. Yeah, Warhammer is like my love, man. I'll be loving that Warhammer stuff. And maybe we'll talk Warhammer a little bit later on in today's stream. A variant of Kang hating on the mutants makes sense. So, really does not seem like he's going to be Kang unless this is a situation where he is Kang and he's pretending to be somebody else. So this is technically possible. There was a character known as, I think it was Mr. Griffin, who had presented himself as some big businessman guy that was helping the Avengers. He ended up being a variant of Kang. Tillman was connected to the Kang character via a report from Jeff Snyder. Technically, that still could be, right? But it's looking less and less likely. In fact, I think Alex kind of hinted at recently that, yeah, they're not doing any Kang stuff, man. Like, they're gonna basically not touch Kang or talk about Kang as much as they can. So, I don't know, man. I don't know, yeah. Loki is the GOAT. Yes, and thank you. Loki is pretty cool. I thought Tillman would be the head of damage control rumor. Yes, I believe that was a rumor. Maybe this William Metzger guy is that in the MCU canon. I believe William Metzger has a different past in the comics. He is connected to Weapons X and stuff like that. But what they're doing in the MCU is they're going to make like damage control the anti-mutant thing, which is wild because they have a lot of Stark tech, which might end up being like technically Doctor Doom tech, which is a whole nother thing. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm taking this as probably not Kang. You know what I mean? There's still an outside chance that Kang is there. And if he ends up being Kang, that's pretending to be somebody else, like that's totally Kang. That's a totally Kang thing to do. But that's not what I'm currently thinking. Sadie as Jean makes a lot more sense to do first. What do you mean first? As compared to what? It's Tom Hiddleston's birthday today. Oh, nice. Happy birthday to Tom Hiddleston, man. That's a real GOAT right there. I heard he won his lawsuit, the Kang actor. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Was there another lawsuit? Don't care. I want to see Jean, Frank, and the real Hulk back. Yeah, you know, another part of this, another little rumor, we'll touch on this and then we'll get into more of the Secret War stuff. The other rumor is that Hulk's going to be like Grey Hulk. He's going to be incredibly savage. He might kill somebody in the movie. I think he might kill Peter. I'm going to be honest with you. I think he might kill Peter. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, right? Like Grey Hulk, he's super savage. Like, what's the deal with that? That is wild, huh? All these mid-trailers when we could be talking about that fire Cadillac F1 livery. Just let Mando burn, guys. I don't know what that means. Is that some Warhammer shit? Nexus Point said that Tillman has a multi-picture deal. He's going to be the political head of anti-mutant sentiment. Probably Stryker as Mutant Reverend. Guy Rich in NatSec Science. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what they'll do. I know they just want to connect the damage control stuff to the anti-mutant stuff, to government oversight, to the Avengers, really, right? Yeah. Look, a multi-picture deal is cool, but frankly, you just never know. Kamal Nanjiani had a multi-picture deal with Marvel. You know, when he signed up for Eternals, I think he signed like a 6-picture deal. And I don't know if he's doing a second picture. You know what I mean? So like plans change. Multi-picture deals are great. But contracts are like your heart, chat. It's meant to be broken. Sorry. Tillman has so much more potential than a government character with no powers. Rip. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, dude. I'm really tired of this thing that they're doing, where they're just grabbing up like really talented, really popular actors and putting them in like an absolutely fucking ridiculous side character role. Now, look, they can make it work because technically, like, Robert Redford is brought on as some security advisor guy that's like, what the fuck is that? But they earn that shit and they make him awesome. Tillman is good enough. Like, this could be a move that actually makes sense. They have a great plan. They cast him and they're like, dude, this dude has the sauce. Wait till you hear Tillman say, you filthy muties. It's going to put chills down your spine, you know? And it could be great. And then we'll be like, damn, we really like him. But I also think it's okay to be a fan, to watch what's happened with Marvel recently, and be like, dog, I don't know about him playing fucking William Metzger. I don't know about that, Kevin. Like, that's a fine take, too. That's like an okay take. They probably offered Tillman Kang and he passed on it. If actors don't want to roll, what can you do? Maybe, yeah. I doubt Tillman will play a character that appeared in 10 issues of a run in #1 read. Yeah, dude, right? Like, oh my God. Oh, fuck. Actually, wouldn't mind a couple of Eternals returning for Doomsday or Secret Wars. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily mind it either, but they got enough to juggle, man, you know? Yeah. What if he's Doom? What are you talking about, brother? What the fuck are you talking about? Too much Sony in this choice. Maybe. But this is a Marvel Studios movie, so if he's getting cast with a multi-picture deal, it's probably a Marvel Studios multi-picture deal, my friend. Yeah, I'm not sure. Heather and Brand New Day? Get him out of here. Jeez. Okay, that's probably enough on the Spider-Man thing with Tillman. We'll see, man. You know, I'm trying to be optimistic, not loving the choice. I think the Defenders direction for Peter is going to be cool after Secret Wars. I'm actually super down for that. And the Grey Hulk stuff and Hulk being super savage, I'm down with that. I think they're cooking with this movie for sure. All right, Mike says, anything with Jessica Jones and Punisher would definitely get the family to the AMC theater in peace. In person. Yeah, I think it would be a cool draw, man. I do. Obviously got to be the right story. It's got to be super fun, but like, I like those characters, man. I even like Luke Cage and Finn Jones. I look, obviously the Iron Fist show was whack and Finn Jones didn't do great, but we live in a different world now where I think there's just a lot more respect out there for Marvel, and I think Finn Jones kind of knows he fucked up. He wants that shot. Sony involved? I'm confused. Okay, Adam, let me break it down to you like this. So this is a Sony movie. If Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, she wasn't cast as Jean Grey for a Sony contract. Okay. Similarly, Tremel Tillman, he's going to be in this movie. Apparently as William Metzger. He didn't sign a contract that's a multi-picture deal with Sony to play William Metzger. The production of these movies is handled by Marvel Studios. You know what I'm saying? Josh, what do you think of the idea that not only Doom was treated as a danger to the plans of He Who Remains, but Jean Grey because of her connection to the Phoenix Force in the hot room? Yeah, I like that idea. I would be very down with that. I wonder if that's a bit too confusing for normies. I wonder what Marvel's going to do with that. But yeah, I like that. I think that would be cool. All right. All right, last little bit of yapping here, man. I just want to go into speculation town. This is like a lot of speculation and theory. But it has to do with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Where is the trailer? What's the deal with this movie exactly? And I want to talk about broad strokes things that like maybe we should really try to keep in mind that maybe a lot of normies are not thinking about. There's a leaked description for this trailer now, okay? And I want to go over the leaked description, talk about if we think it's real, what do we think of that teaser trailer, okay? But here is the deal. At this point, I think you'd have to say it's a bit weird that we haven't had the Spider-Man brand new trailer, right, chat? Like, that's probably fair to say, right? It's a little bit weird. It's not necessarily the weirdest thing ever. I mean, frankly, it's weird to have 4 different teaser trailers that aren't teaser trailers a year out for your movie. It's weird that Christopher Nolan's Odyssey did a teaser trailer a year out and had tickets go on sale a year out. Weird things happen, but this is feeling weird. And I think there's a couple of things that could actually explain the weirdness, right? And here's what they are. Number one, the rumor, which seems to be supported more and more these days, the rumor that Spider-Man Brand New Day is actually going to happen basically at the same time as Avengers Doomsday. Okay? That rumor, I think a lot of normies do not understand that rumor at all. I don't know how Marvel's going to sell them on that idea, right? But it is to the degree that we are thinking, just in the rumorverse and, you know, the people that pay attention to leaks and rumors and all that sort of stuff, we're basically convinced that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is either barely in Avengers Doomsday or he is not in Avengers Doomsday at all. And the reason is because he is in Spider-Man Brand New Day. We also have heard and we believe that Hulk, Bruce Banner Hulk, will not be in Avengers Doomsday. And he will not be in Avengers Doomsday because of what is going on in Spider-Man Brand New Day. On top of that, we have heard that Sadie Sink's character, whoever she's playing, I think it's Jean Grey, but whoever she's playing, she's not going to be in Doomsday either, but she will be in Secret Wars. So hang on a second. We are hearing that Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man, Bruce Banner Hulk, and Sadie Sink Jean Grey or mutant character are all not going to be in Doomsday, but will be in Secret Wars. So I think maybe just an obvious line of thinking here, and I could be flawed with this thinking, but I think the reason you haven't seen marketing for Spider-Man has something to do with that connection. I would imagine that Sony and Marvel are looking at what they have with the film, they're looking at what they have with the trailer, and they're trying to decide how to market this movie while also trying to market another movie. And I think there's sort of a question of how to sell this movie and its connection to Doomsday and to what Doctor Doom is doing to mainstream and normie audiences. Now, remember, around Christmas time, I think it was in week 2 of when the Doomsday trailers were leaking, the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer leaked as well. And we all watched that leaked trailer. It had a lot of interesting stuff in it, weird stuff in it. You know, a little bit confusing as to what was actually being shown in the trailer, what was going on in the trailer. But what that appeared to be was a leak of a version of the trailer that was sent out to people that were doing control testing on it. It was like a screen test. And people were saying, like, how did the trailer affect you? What did you like? What did you not? And the impression I got was, like, this was leaked from one of those things. Sony was going to take the notes, recut the trailer to make a better teaser trailer for this thing. Okay? And I can't help but think that task is made more difficult because of the potential connection, because of how whatever's actually going on in Spider-Man Brand New Day is likely not happening like while the Doomsday stuff is. So you got to ask yourself this question. Do the Marvel characters, because we know the Thunderbolts post-credit scene, they're chilling, interdimensional ship comes down, that ship has the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, and Steve Rogers in it. Thor's probably going to connect in that group relatively quickly as well. I went back and read a lot of like leaks that Alex has said about Thor over the past couple of years, and Alex basically said that Thor enters the picture way faster. He starts as a side plot, but then he joins in to stop the incursions relatively quickly. So I would say whether Thor is on that ship or not, Thor probably enters the picture really, really fast. But then it looks like that group leaves. They might leave the universe. They're going into the X-Men universe for one to try to fight. Some of them might go to the Necropolis. Maybe some of them go to the TVA. They're gone. So does that mean that Spider-Man Brand New Day is taking place in New York City after the Avengers bail? and they're in another universe, or they're doing something else, or they're going like that. Okay, but how you sell that then to promote the actual Spider-Man movie? That to me is a little bit confusing, right? So I'm like thinking that's probably why we haven't had the trailer yet. And with all of that said, chat, let's now look at this leaked description. This is over on Reddit. Let's look at this leaked description for the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. And I gotta tell you, I don't know, part of me thinks this could be fake. Hang on, sorry, I'm trying to size this for you guys. Part of me thinks this could be fake because it frankly sounds fucking terrible, parts of it, and then parts of me thinks that this could be true. So here we go, let's go over this. Okay, so here's the basic description. Spider-Man asking Punisher on his van, why is he helping him? Then he webbed the Punisher's guns. Scenes of Spider-Man fighting villains in an extended way, similar to Shang-Chi. Boomerang is played by Harry Holland. Tombstone says his lines from the leaked trailer. Scorpion in his suit, which is similar to the PS4 version, and his original Steve Ditko suit, fighting Spider-Man. Peter visits Aunt May's tomb. Peter talks with Bruce about gen mutations, and we also see Peter getting out of the web cocoon, and now he has organic webs. That was kind of in the first trailer. Peter sees MJ kiss her new boyfriend, Ick. The final scene is Peter talking with MJ. Peter says, I'm your neighbor, and then MJ says, friendly neighborhood. Okay, that last part, like, holy shit, please no. Friendly neighborhood. Are you some kind of friendly neighborhood Spider-Man? Like, no! Get that shit out of here. But other than that, this all tracks. This all feels right. Now, do any of you remember the first leak trailer? And do you remember what was in the first leak trailer, which has been taken out of the trailer seemingly? Chat. Come on. Anybody know where I'm going with this? Anybody know where I'm going with this? The thing that was in the first trailer that has been removed is Sadie Sink saying something. Well, I forget exactly what her line was, but it was something like, stay out of my way, or you won't be, or your friends won't be the only one who forgets about Spider-Man, or something like that. It's basically what she said. Which, like, to me, when I heard that line, I was like, yeah, that's a Jean, like, that's like the fucking, that's so obviously a Jean Grey coded, like, thing. And yes, it's a version of Jean that's like just on the run on her own. There's no Charles Xavier. She wasn't recruited. She didn't get the blocks put in. Like, she's just, it's a different Jean. It's like the current MCU Jean, right? But it's like so obvious that she wasn't Shathira or Shakira or whatever other stupid rumor was out there at the time, right? You also don't see in this trailer any of the Tremel Tillman stuff. The only mention of mutation has to do with Bruce Banner, which is interesting. I think Gamma will end up being the thing that unlocks the mutation in the MCU, right? So Bruce is kind of connected in that way. The organic webbing and the organic webs, that is interesting. You know, people have talked about how that could be connected to the other, could be connected to the spider totems and some weird shit like that. Not really sure. But between the leaked trailer, guys, and this trailer, I can't help but think, like, I just got to tell you what I think's going on. And I could be wrong. Okay? But what I think is going on is they've made a really wild Spider-Man movie that is way more multiversal, way more connected to Secret Wars and Doctor Doom, way more connected to the Avengers movies than you would think. And yet it seems like they're trying to sort of sell this movie as just a crazy Spider-Man adventure that has Hulk and Punisher and a whole bunch of Spider-Man villains. Okay? And I think that's probably a part of why the marketing has been so slow to start. Because this is Sony and Marvel probably arguing about this, trying to figure out the best way to sell this movie, to sell the connections that it has, to surprise audiences, to not undercut Doomsday, all of those sort of things, guys. So, yeah, that's what I think is going on. That's like the description, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. What do you guys think? What do you think of what's going on with the Spider-Man's brand new day, guys? What do you think? Sounds like a fake 4chan leak. You're talking about this leak here? I don't know. I mean, it could very well be that, but I think the timing would suggest that this could be valid. Again, it has elements that we think are from the other trailer, which either means they cut it and changed it and this is a new accurate one, or somebody's just saying that, you know? But we're going to find out. We're going to find out soon. Spidey's lack of physical fitness. Wait, what? I believe Mark Ruffalo is in Doomsday based on the Crime 101 press tour. So he's not in Doomsday, according to like the leakers and the scoopers and everything. Now, could he be in there? Sure. But like currently, people are saying he's not in Doomsday. And people are saying he's not in Doomsday because he's dealing with whatever's happening in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Like that's basically what Alex Perez said. So I don't think he's in Doomsday, guys. You know? Part of it's like, oh, wait a minute. This is from 3C Films? So, okay. So this is interesting. So I knew this came from a 3C Films video. I had assumed Chris was reading a leak that was already out there. I actually did not know that this is a leak from his sources. That's really interesting. I actually got it twisted. Okay. So he said it's from one of his sources. Wow. So I guess I don't know what that means for us. I would imagine Chris has good sources, but I've never like seen Chris like get scoops or anything like that either. So I don't know. That's a little bit spicy. So I guess your mileage may vary on how you feel about that. But I think this lines up close enough with things that I think are happening. Yeah. What if Brand New Day ends 15 minutes prior to the start of Doomsday, like how Rogue One ends 15 minutes before A New Hope? Yes, something like that could be in play. The thing I'm confused about is this. Harloff sort of leaked and teased that 3 different Earths are going to collide at the end of the movie. I think that's been corroborated by some other people too. So 3 different Earths, probably your X-Men universe, 616, and the Fantastic Four universe. They're probably all smashed together at the end of the movie, right? So my question would be, does that happen in Spider-Man Brand New Day? Is there a part of Brand New Day that's like, oh shit, there's an incursion happening and we're fighting against all these other villains and stuff? Does that happen in Spider-Man? How does Sadie Sink's character, Tom Holland's character, and Bruce Banner, how do they get onto Battleworld? Is that a part of the plot? Is it a post-credit scene? Is there something else crazy going on in New York? Are they in a separate universe? Are they in a branch timeline of 616? What is happening? So how this fits together is quite curious. And again, I am starting to believe that is a part of why the marketing for the movie has been a little bit weird. The Brand New Day post-credit scene is probably an incursion coming in on our Earth. Yes, maybe, but then how do you explain Tom Holland Spider-Man not being in Doomsday fighting because of the incursion? Do you see what I mean? Like that wouldn't match up. So if the incursion happens in the post-credit scene, then there's no reason as to why Peter Parker could not be involved in the incursions in Doomsday. Right? Hey, you're okay, puppy. Come here. Come here, puppy. We're almost done. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good dog. Russo's obviously going for Black Suit Spider-Man and Secret Wars. I agree. I think so too. But how do you fit these things together? I don't really understand, chat. I don't really understand. Yeah. Because Jean Grey takes him to the white hot room and the scene ends. Something like that could work. Something like that could work. I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's probably good enough on that one, guys. Just wanted to kind of touch base with you, talk about the leak description, talk about what I think is going on with Spider-Man. And I guess we're going to find out. You know, we'll find out probably pretty soon. This trailer should drop soon either way. 100%. 100%. CinemaCon? Maybe. Isn't that relatively soon? I'll be huge in Asia. Okay, right on. What? Let's rage on Star Wars some more. I'm still pissed. Man, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I have rage. Just fuck Star Wars. Star Wars, why you do this? Why you do this, man? Would love Star Wars to turn it around. Now, look. Last little thing before we get out of here. I just want to remind you, no stream tomorrow. I'm moving everything back into the office. We will do the deep dive nerd EFAP of Iron Man on Friday. We're doing it, and we're doing it for reals this time. I've got a better plan. But I also just want to say, real quick, before we get out of here today, that we have talked about how Star Wars is completely cooked and a shell of its former self. We've talked about how DC is basically in shambles and Supergirl probably going to flop. That universe on very shaky ground, not doing what it needs to be. We've talked about how Marvel is casting Tremel Tillman as some random what the fuck stupid person, but also Marvel has some cool stuff going on. But guys, this is another perfect example of why we need to take a lot of our personal energy, our personal attachment, and go away from these universes like Star Wars and DC and even a little bit of Marvel. And we need to get into Warhammer. Warhammer is the future. Warhammer takes care of its fans. Warhammer fucks up. They're not perfect. They did female custodians. It's really stupid. But by and large, Warhammer is better. It's a better use of our time. It's a better vibe. It's just a better universe with cooler lore and awesome shit. And so we all need to get into Warhammer. All right. All right. All right. Good stream. Hey, yeah. All right. Good stream. Good stream here on a Monday. Yeah. All right. That's the hidden message. That's the truth. Is like, what the fuck are we doing with all this stupid Star Wars shit? Warhammer. Is Knights of the Seven Kingdom really as good as people are saying? I really like the show. I think part of that comes from expectations. I don't know what you'll think of the show. I mean, at this point, it's something really weird has happened with Knight of the Seven Kingdom, where now it's got so much buzz that I think people might be underwhelmed going into it, which is really weird how that happens. I love the show, man. I did catch up, or my wife and I on Saturday caught up on the show. We binged all 4 episodes that are out there. And I'll tell you that her take on it was like, that was really fun, but not as good as I thought it was going to be because you kind of hyped it up a little bit too much, is what she said. And I said, you're wrong. Get out of my face. I'm filing for a divorce. Get the fuck out of here. No, I didn't say that shit. But like, but the point she was making was, and I think it's a fair point, is like, I came into it with low expectations and was blown away. It's gotten so popular and so many people have talked about it that I think other folks might have a different experience. They might come in and be like, this is what people are so hyped up about. You know what I mean? But with all of that said, I really like the show, man. Like strong recommend from me. Strong recommend. I think it's a really good show. But please take a look at the past 5 years. Latest Sony Marvel collab movies. First teaser trailer released, and the movies have come out in theaters 4 months before movie releases. Okay, so you're just making the argument that it's not that weird. But we had leaked trailer. Alex said a couple of weeks ago that there was a movement as far as the trailer going to some other stage. And he said usually after that it gets released online. You would imagine the Super Bowl is a great spot for a movie like that. I still think it's valid to say that this marketing has been weird, and I'm wondering where the trailer is at. You know what I mean? You think it's par for the course and it's totally normal. It's all good. We can agree to disagree. What the fuck? What just happened? What the hell? What the hell just happened there? What in tarnation was that? Okay, I think we're good. What the fuck was that trailer? Yeah, I know, right? Oh, God. Oh, God, so bad. Warhammer is the best thing ever, says Got Ank Ank's Shine. Awesome. Go Tank Shine? Nice. Are you looking forward to the Daredevil season 2? Season 1 was disappointing. I think I am looking forward to it, but I'm also very skeptic of it. I'll probably watch Daredevil Born Again season 2 like this. And maybe at the end of the episode, I'll be like, it wasn't bad. Or maybe I'll be like, and freak out. It's crazy how much healthier Josh looks with some light shining on him, like the good/light episode of Seinfeld. No! I'm going back to the cave. In fact, you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? No, Wednesday, because I'm moving back in tomorrow. You know what I'm going to do on Wednesday stream? I'm going to have it completely in the darkness and have a little flashlight. Just a little flashlight in the center, and just cast like barely any light on me. And I'm going to be like, welcome back to the office. Now the true streams can continue. So, just so you know. Apparently, it's only cognitive dissonance that makes me love Warhammer. What? Don't think too hard about it. Just go out and get some plastic crack, man. Come on. Josh, have you watched Paradise on Hulu Disney? It's a really good watch. No, I haven't heard of it. What's it about? Bro, No Way Home first trailer came out in August and the movie came out in December. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's a pretty good Palpatine. Oh, thanks. Didn't watch the Super Bowl, but from the looks of YouTube today, there were 0 commercials worth seeing as well. Yeah, it was a pretty lame Super Bowl, I thought. No, I woke up late for a Den of Nerds stream. You fucked up. And you should feel bad about it. Huh? According to simulation, why did Star Wars have to die? Yes, I'm thinking too hard about it. Oh, it had to die because it was actually speaking a truth that people didn't want out there. That's why. Good, Anakin. You kill all the Jedis at the temple. Oh, hell yeah. Did you see the Chainsaw Man Resi Arc movie? I did. I liked it a lot, man. But when he's on the fucking shark at the end of that movie, going up against the bomb demon shit, I was like, this is just so wild, so ridiculous, but really cool. I thought it was great. Are you excited for the Halo campaign Evolve, Josh? Nah, not really, brother. Yeah, I probably won't play it. I was always into Halo more for the multiplayer. I like the story. Halo 1, 2, and 3 are great. Reach was great. ODST actually has a crazy good story too. But mostly I'm there for the multiplayer. I'm here for the multiplayer. I'm here to listen to a 43-year-old complain about everything. Well, I'm not quite that old yet, but I will be 43 someday. And God willing, I'll still be on this microphone and I'll still be complaining. Hopefully not as much about Star Wars because they sell it off or just decide to retire it permanently. But don't worry, there'll probably be plenty for me to bitch and moan about. What do you think, guys? You think I'll still be here at 43? You think I'll still be going strong at 43, just hating? What do you think? 43 and you'll be on your 5th army? Yeah, maybe. I'm really thinking about Grey Knights, man. I've been really thinking a lot about Grey Knights. Yeah. You'll always be able to complain about James Gunn. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep, still part-time. Amen, Chris, God willing. God willing. You will be hating on how Amazon fucked up Warhammer? Oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Enjoy your youth, bro. I'm 51. Oh, thanks, man. Enjoy your youth too, man. I think, yeah, hopefully, even all of us as we get older, and, you know, we're all going to get older, hopefully we can still have a lot of fun, still fill our life with a lot of joy. And with medical advances, you never know. We could be hating on Star Wars till we're 150, 200 years old. You know what I mean? And then at the end of it, I'll lay on my deathbed and be like, you know, thanks to advances in modern science, I was able to complain about Star Wars for over a century. It was a good life. And I'll say goodbye to my family and pass on, you know? Yeah, that's the dream. Hell yeah. All right, everybody. Hey, much love, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Pretty good Monday. Pretty good Monday. Look, no stream tomorrow. Don't bitch and moan. We should have a regular stream Wednesday, regular stream Thursday, and then Friday is going to be a members-only stream. We're doing a deep dive. We're going to do a nerd EFAB. We're going to break down Iron Man live on stream with the members. It's the first time we've ever done this. It definitely is the very first time. And so we're going to do it for the very first time this Friday together. Appreciate you. Come on by for that if you are a member. I'm going to get on out of here. As I always say, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.
I'm so miserable now. 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 I'm so miserable now.
I'm gonna be jabbing my ass cheeks with those things on the daily. Fucking World War Hulk style steroids. And
I'm so miserable now.
I'm also gonna be going into the doctor soon and trying to get Guatemalan steroids. You know, like the strongest, straight from Guatemala steroids, craziest, high-powered, testosterone-filled, totally jacked to the gills, fucking World War Hulk style steroids. And I'm gonna be jabbing my ass cheeks with those things on the daily.
I'm so miserable now.
Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man, another happy landing. Another lovely day here at the tower. Hope you had a good time, man. We'll be back at it Wednesday. Videos coming at you, clips later. And we'll see what happens, you know? We'll just see what happens. A lot of crazy shit weird stuff going on with our freaking entertainment, our shit we love. What are we gonna do? And we'll just figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Maybe we just gotta fucking bitch and moan. Maybe we gotta fucking complain about it. Maybe we gotta be like, Warhammer's the best. We all gotta get into Warhammer. Hell yeah! Hell yeah! All right, everybody, get on out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Do me a favor, actually make it 2. First step, open up your third eye. Second up, wash out, clean out, soap and water, a good scrubbing on your stinky, stinky butt. Oh! Okay, bye.